Things you need to know before moving to Charlotte. So let me start off by stating this. I moved to Charlotte. This is my second time, living in Charlotte. The first time I moved to Charlotte was in 2009. And then after that, I left, I think it was 2017, 2018, something around that. It might have been 2016. I don't know for sure. But anyway, I moved to Atlanta. And I didn't like the city, and I wound up moving back in 2019. So I've been here for the second time for a little over a year. When I came here the first time in 2009, they were in the process of changing the city because the city is old. You understand? It's an old city. But the thing of it is that there was at one point in time a lot of land that was just trees and grass. And what Charlotte has done is to make long story short, they built on top of the grass and the trees, and they tore down. Now there's enough trees and grass everywhere in Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they've taken that opportunity to actually build on specific areas in Charlotte. You understand? So it's a lot of the stuff that's here that's being built. Your skyscrapers, your townhomes, your apartment buildings, your condos is new, especially in South End, Uptown Charlotte, and just surrounding around, the Uptown area. They have gentrified it, so it's basically now like, you have your black community, but then you have, you cross the street over, and then you have this well-to-do area. I don't want to specifically say black community, white community, but you understand where I'm coming from. Like, they've gentrified a lot of areas, so therefore, whites and blacks are living amongst each other, So what I want to start off with first is entertainment. I know that is just as important as a job, the job market, housing, etc. I don't know what you all have heard. I've looked at a lot of these videos that people have done about Charlotte, whether they visit here or whether they live here, and I think a lot of times people are just misinformed. And what I mean by being misinformed, meaning that they don't know where to go in Charlotte. They don't know what things to do in Charlotte. They don't know any type of entertainment. They just know, small things, right? So let me break it down to you. You have Optimist Hall, you have the North End, you have the South End, you have the Noda area, you have Central Avenue, you have Carowinds, you have the Epicenter. Right now we're experiencing COVID-19, and the Epicenter is not like it used to be. It used to be the go-to place, especially for tourists. The Epicenter is located in the heart of, Uptown. So it used to be the place to go. Now the movie theaters shut down. A lot of stores and restaurants and clubs and stuff like that are shut down. So I think that once things get back to regular, the Epicenter be where it should be, and that's another place that you can go as far as dealing with entertainment and things to do. You have the Charlotte Hornets here. You have the Carolina Panthers, Whitewater Park. You have Adult Entertainment Club Onyx. You got Ramir Park. Ink Ivy is right across the street. It's like it's a nice bar. You understand? You got two Top Golfs. You have one that's in the University area, and you have one that's in the Stilt Creek area. You have a minor baseball league. I forgot the name of them. But anyway, you have a minor baseball league that's located in Uptown, right across the street, believe it or not, from Ramir Park and Ink Ivy. You got Music Factory, you have Lake Norman, you have Lake Wiley, and a lot of like boat parties are done on Lake Norman. Lake Norman is the bigger lake than Lake Wiley. Lake Wiley is actually located in South Carolina, but I live in Still Creek and it's minutes away. Like, I can drive from here to Lake Wiley. It only take me probably about 12 minutes. What else? Let me think. Okay, so you have East Boulevard. When you go down to East Boulevard, right around Freedom Park, you have like bars and stuff like that, and people like walk around in that area and hang out. What have I forgot? I think that's about it. So maybe you don't want to be entertained in the city. So maybe you want to venture out. We're 4 hours away from Atlanta. We're 3 hours away, about 3.5 hours away from Myrtle Beach. We're 2 hours away from Asheboro Zoo, which is the biggest zoo on the East Coast. That's my opinion. I had to fact check that. But it's a zoo that you have to take a minibus to get to the other side of the zoo. That's just how big it is. You got Wet n Wild Water Park that's located in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away. You have Asheville, which, you know, it's the mountains up there, and they got their own little swanky thing going on. That's about 2 to 3 hours away. You have Raleigh, the Raleigh-Durham area, which is about 2.5 to 3 hours away. So I'm just trying to understand, like, really. I just named y'all I don't want to curse, a lot of things to do as far as entertainment. You know, as far as dealing with restaurants, you're gonna have that. You know, you have your high-end restaurants, your 5-star restaurants, and then you have your mom-pops restaurant, chicken. It's the South. So I'm not gonna even go into that. It's the South, so we're gonna have a lot of restaurants. And Charlotte, being that it's a bigger city, I don't know if I would want to say major just yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should put it along the lines of Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York. And that's because that Charlotte, it doesn't have the surrounding counties. Like, take for example, Atlanta. What makes Atlanta big, or, you know, in population, we're talking about Metro Atlanta. So in Metro Atlanta, which consists of cities like Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Decatur, East Point, College Park, that's Metro Atlanta, and the list goes on. You understand? Alpharetta, the list goes on. So those are surrounding cities, right? So when you talk about Metro Atlanta, you're talking about 6.5 million people, right? But when you talk about Atlanta has only about 900,000 people, if I'm not mistaken, and it's way more smaller than Charlotte. So Charlotte doesn't have those surrounding counties and cities, or it's not like New York, like having 5 boroughs. You know what I'm saying? So we only have in Metro Atlanta, in Metro Charlotte, we only have like close to 3 million people. You understand? So I don't know if I want to put it as a major city. I do know New York is first for us dealing with banking, and we're second because we're a banking city. So if you have anything, a career in banking, you're gonna do good here, because we have Bank of America here that's established here, as well as Wells Fargo. You know, this is the major hub for these 2 banks. So yeah, getting to my point, I wouldn't say major yet, major city. We do have international flights coming in and out of the airport. We do have remnants of what a major city may be, but I just don't think that we're there just yet. You understand? But you still can get that city feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do have stores and restaurants and places that are going to give you that, oh, okay, I'm not missing anything if I leave Atlanta and come here. I'm not missing too much if I leave New York and come here, because Charlotte has a lot of, not a lot, but, you know, similar stores and restaurants to your New York and to your Atlanta. Okay, so let me talk about areas, you know, to live in Charlotte, because Charlotte is the reason why it's big is because it's widespread. So For as transportation wise, you're definitely going to need a car. We do have the Lynx train that goes from one end of Charlotte to the next. It just goes across Charlotte like a belt, but it doesn't go anywhere else. They're in the makings of building another part to it that's going to extend from Johnson C. Smith University all the way down into Uptown and going all the way up through Uptown and to like the tip of middle part of Central Avenue. So you're definitely going to need some form of transportation like a car. That's what I'm saying. They have buses. The buses go everywhere, but I wouldn't recommend a bus because, of course, the city. If you take a bus and you try, like say for example, you living in Ballantyne, right, and you work in Uptown, you're going to have to take. First and foremost, the 43 doesn't run straight throughout the whole day in Ballantyne. So you're gonna have to take the earlier bus or the later afternoon bus. But in between that time, there's a time frame where the buses that particular bus doesn't run. So let's say for example, you take the morning one. So you get on the 43, you catch it takes you straight to the Lynx train. You get on the train, and then after that, you go to it takes you to Uptown. That might take you about an hour, 10, hour and 15 minutes. You understand? So you definitely want a car if you want to be able to control the time that you get back and forth. Which leads me to the next thing. And I'm going to discuss the different areas in Charlotte, which leads me to the next thing. Traffic. We do have traffic. Charlotte has become this city that has grown like overnight. So normal traffic flow, it doesn't exist anymore. There could be traffic at any given time. To be honest with you, people in Charlotte cannot drive, so there's a car accident waiting to happen every day. The day before yesterday, I saw an accident going 77 north and an accident coming back going 77 south. So the highways we have here is Highway 77, 277 that circles around Uptown. You have 485 that circles around the whole Charlotte, and you have Independence Boulevard, which is not a highway, but it's still it's somewhat of a highway. You have 485, Highway 85, and I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. You have Billy Graham Parkway, and I think that's it. So far as dealing with areas, you have like Ballantyne, South Park, Still Creek. I live in Still Creek. This Still Creek area. You have University area. You have Huntersville. You have Uptown. You have South End. You have the Noda area. So there's different areas that you can live in inside Charlotte. That's not big enough to be called a borough. Or big enough to be called its own city, but it is. Ballantyne at one point in time, Ballantyne was trying to extract themselves from Charlotte, the city of Charlotte. It wasn't successful, but they were definitely trying to form their own city. I'm trying to get through things real quick. I don't want to make this video long. Weather, it's pretty good. You have mild winters. I know, since the first time and the second time. So I've been here a total of, I'd say about 7 years altogether, right? 7, 8 years, right? It snowed probably twice out of those 7, 8 years. Straight up. Last year, the early part of this year, it snowed and it melted the same day. So you're gonna get, kind of like your mild, winters. It's not rare. It's not rare to have in December a 68-degree day. That's not rare. That's common. Now, is it gonna be like Monday through Friday? No. If you don't like pollen, when pollen season comes and you're allergic to it, it gets bad. It gets really, really bad. The summers are to certain people are unbearable. I mean, it gets hot. It gets really hot down here. What else? Houses, apartments. You're gonna find a lot of houses and apartments. Me, I live in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, front yard, backyard, garage, and I pay $1,450. Apartment wise, I lived in an apartment right up the street. I used to live in an apartment right up the street called Bexley for a 1-bedroom. Right now, you're gonna be paying about $1,000. Areas like Still Creek, South Park, Ballantyne, Huntersville, University area, those are on fire. Those are the good areas. So of course, the apartments and the houses are going to be a little bit pricey. But if you want to live in an affordable area, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real. I'm probably in the hood. Other than that, your rent is not going to be no less than $1,000 for 1 bedroom. It's just that plain and simple. That plain and simple. Far as what I'm seeing, far as dealing with houses, and you want to live in a nice area. Right now, matter of fact, I renewed my lease, so right now I'm paying $1,505. So they went up on the rent. So I think the average price of a house, is going to be about $1,500 on up. Renting. What else? Haven't I covered? Sales tax is 4.75%. Raising a family here is good. Public school system. Some of these public schools are not that great, but they do have certain it just depends on what area you're in. You know what I'm saying? My children, we homeschool, so pretty much don't have to worry about that too much. I would recommend that you homeschool. Jobs, like I said, this is a banking city. They do have, jobs like anywhere else. They have tech jobs. They have regular jobs for regular people. I would recommend that you become an entrepreneur. Or if you do have a job, that you have a hustle on the side. It may be gig apps. Before the COVID-19 thing happened, I was doing Postmates. Postmates and Uber Eats and all of that stuff is good here. It's very consistent here. You're gonna make money here. And like I said, prior to COVID-19, I did Postmates in Atlanta, and it was horrible. Period. I mean, it's very much oversaturated there. It's nothing for you to see a decal. Am I saying that right? A decal on somebody's window of numerous different gig apps. Maybe Lyft, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash. What else? I think that's about it. The insurance registration, your first year they won't charge you an emissions test, but the second year you have to take the emissions test. The insurance is way more cheaper than New York or Georgia. What else? Race. As we know, there is no escaping racism. But I can tell you this. I've lived in Durham, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Atlanta, Charlotte, Greensboro, North Carolina, Brooklyn, Jamaica, Queens, Glen Clove, Long Island. I stayed a little while in Orlando, Florida, and I can tell you, out of all the places that I've lived in, Charlotte is not by far 100%, perfect. No, it's not. There have been police officers that have killed black men, unarmed black men. But I can tell you that racism here is like, what? It's unheard. It kind of shocks you if it happens. It kind of shocks you because you're saying in your mind, this is Charlotte. This is not such and such place. You understand? So the racism here is pretty decent. Black people and white people seem to get along. And this may be very controversial to say, but I'm going to say it because I say whatever's on my mind. I just think that these set of white people that are in Charlotte are just a different breed. I don't think that they're real white people. I think that they came from another planet and they landed here. And there are no other white people like these white people. Because I'm telling you, these white people, they're mad cool. I'm just being real with you. Like, I'm not going to be like everybody else that does a regular Charlotte video. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to kick it to you. You know what I'm saying? These white people smoke weed, they drink, they chill. They mad cool. Mad cool. Like it's nothing for you to be at a bar and a white person buys you a drink and start having conversations with you. That's normal. So yeah, man, the white people here like mad cool. And it's let me tell you something. Let me tell you this straight up. If you were to be somewhere and it would be like it would be a group, it'd be black people and white people in a group, and you would be looking at them funny, they would be looking at you funny like, yo, what's your problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how we get down. We interact with one another. You know what I'm saying? What else? Dating. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you my personal business, but then again I am. So I don't know anything about the dating thing here. The reason why is because I have gotten into trouble with so many women throughout all my life, to the point where I still love women, but I just have to chill out. I have to prioritize myself. So I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from far as dealing with the players. They understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to say it in a PG-like manner. Like, I've had my fair share of women, and it's kind of like, it's time for me to chill out. It's time for me to focus on what I need to really focus on. I'm a father. My children live with me, and you know, I'm not a baby daddy or none of that. I take care of my responsibilities. I cook, clean, and all the rest of that. You understand? So my point in making is that right now, at the age that I'm in, I have to prioritize myself. So I don't know anything about the dating thing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to ask someone else about that. Maybe I'll have Pretty Ricky, my friend, talk to you about that, because he's dating right now. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. I hope that I've helped you all out. And hey, listen, help me out. Like this video, share it, comment, and subscribe. My name is Langston 2092. Peace.